resistance politically in implementing the situation, and how do you overcome it? And part B, I read somewhere that there were arguments that there are already so many IDs available in India, passport, PAN card, ration card, though none of them as good as the UID. Were there ideas about using one of these platforms and use them instead of creating a completely new platform?
Sure. Yeah, no, I think, any project of which it has major change dimensions, and whether it's in a nation or whether it's in a company, is bound to face resistance. And that's the nature of the beast. Because anything that brings change has impact on incumbents and changes power equations and so turf issues and all that. So obviously this project also has gone through some of those issues. But the way we look at it is that the fact that there will be resistance, or the fact that there will be opposition, is a given. That's true. Machiavelli wrote about it 500 years back. So it's a known thing that change always has opposition. The question comes is, what can you do about it? I mean, that's what's in your control, right? Change is not in your, the opposition is not in your control. And broadly, there have been three or four principles we follow. One is that to do it quickly. Because when you do it quickly, it reduces the opportunity to coalesce opposition against you, right? Because you move faster than the sort of regrouping ability in some sense. The second is you do it below the radar and do it, without too much of a frontal kind of thing. Do it in a more low-key manner. The third is create a coalition who wants the change, and therefore, because if you can create a coalition who wants the change or who has a stake in the change, then they become your allies in taking on the coalition that doesn't want the change. So our coalition is a very broad coalition of banks and insurance companies and fertilizer companies and oil companies and technology suppliers everybody has a stake in this being successful. And finally, the biggest insurance you have is the people. At the end of the day, if 380 million people have walked the talk or voted with their feet by coming and enrolling, that's real. 380 million people have stood in the queue in the sun and got a number. So obviously there's something here which they are saying they want. So how can you oppose something which people want? So in a democracy, you can bring out the fact that people are the ultimate adjudicators of these things. You had a question?